Hello, football family. I was jamming out to the song a little bit. Welcome into Huddle It Up Films Live. Guys, we made it. We have football on Sunday. Ravens football on Sunday. We actually have a game tomorrow. I'm going to be interested in the game tomorrow, Rams versus Bills. Couple of reasons. Number one, we got fantasy football going on. Let's just be real. I know I'm not the only one who plays. But other than that, let's give the Bills a loss. Everybody's on the Bills right now. Favorites. Everybody's picking them for the Super Bowl. So that's how about this is going to be one of their toughest games of the year versus the Rams. Let's give them a loss so we can root for Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, just like we did the last game when they were going against the Bengals. So here to join us, the crew is here. Ashley, Priyanka, now we missed you on Monday night for the prediction show with Sarah. Sarah was asking about you, and she wanted to meet you and talk to you and all that. But you had some important family business to take care of. Not going to spread your business, but just wanted to ask, how are things? Everything good? Ready to go for the season?
Everything's great, and I'm glad we're all on the same page about the Bills. We want to see them lose tomorrow night.
Well, we haven't heard from Garnett, and he's good for a wild card or two per episode. He compared in the prediction show, Ashley, not sure if you mentioned it, but he's like, if the Ravens, what do the Ravens have to do to get to the Super Bowl? This man starts throwing out 2000 Ravens type defense, early 2000s Ravens. So Garnett threw me for every time I think I know the guy, he throws me for a curveball. Garnett, I love you, brother. It was a great show. We have good things going on tonight, Garnett. We have a Kevin Zeitler film study. I think people will be really excited to see because, let's face it, the guards and, it's hard to have enough highlights to really go over in a game. So we're going to look at some of what Kevin Zeitler can do tonight. We're going to talk some Jets. We got a big preview coming up. Garnett, full show, brother. We made it.
Look at me being all unprofessional and not knowing what to do. Yeah, man. I'm glad you're never gonna solve me, man. Nobody can solve me. I'm like Greg Roman's fault, brother.
You do exist, though. You do exist, right?
Oh yeah, I do exist, but yeah, man. But yeah, man, that's how I felt. I voiced my opinion a lot on Twitter and Twitter Spaces and just people, group chats, so on and so forth. Like yeah, man, I feel strongly, especially just having that military background. Being, basically in charge of over 80 people at one point in time, it's like once you figure out the potential of certain people, you hold people accountable and hold them to a high standard. So that's how I always feel about anything when I see potential.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I want to get some comments. Hey man, just came Purple Rain Pod. Yeah, man. I think that's on in the background. I see it looks like Sutton Deaf and then a really good looking guy back there. I wonder if he's got a girlfriend or anything.
They went off.
Yeah.
That guy that was driving. Yeah, man.
Still waiting on my necklace, by the way, Alex. I haven't gotten the huddle up.
Yeah, man. I was just trying to do a little shameless plug in the background. So what I try to do, guys, was basically, football is family, and there's multiple, cousins. I would say, content, aka content creators that support us. And I just try to have them in the background, so it'd be like, "Hey, who what's that playing? Okay, that's a a Purple Rain podcast, or that's Lunch Break Hot Take, or so on and so forth. And we all should be, loving cousins, I should say."
Look who it is. Simply, I don't know when you got in here, bro, but your smiling face was on the background in Garnett's TV, so that was great, man. We got to see you. You were on the right though. We could see Sutton a little bit better. And you got to love Eli, a man that's willing to name himself Wheeli, the big W. That's some confidence right there. That's some big dog confidence. Love to see it on the show. And then look at this guy, Yuri. Now, Yuri supposedly is going to be joining us later to give his key matchups because, Mr. Marshall's a big dog, bro. He wanted to come on the show, and here he is, man. Yep, easy on the eyes and the fam. This is what I got. 247 yards per game. That's 4,200 yards for Lamar for the season. 36 touchdowns, 65 on the ground. That's 1,100 for season. 11 TDs, 13-4 Super Bowl. Man, from your lips to the football god's ears, man. If that happens, all those projections, I know that's a lot of numbers, Garnett.
No, put it back up.
It's in the comments, bro. I mean, I'm covering your face, but go ahead.
I know, but look at my eyes, and then look what you like. That's how shocked I was when you said, I was like, holy shit! All right, my bad. Excuse my language. But
That's
yeah,
okay. That's okay. We know
yeah,
you have stringent rules here on YouTube. You know,
yeah,
stringent rules.
yeah. But it's just like literally, man. Last night you would have been way low, bro. Way low.
I know. I hope Percy. Now I'm kind of hoping Percy didn't see our season prediction show because man, he's going to think we don't like Mr. Lamar Jackson. Man, I thought our projections were good,
Right.
but yeah, a couple of other to get to Yolanda. Hey, nice, great profile picture, very classy, love it. Black Daniels in the house, peace and blessings, and of course the Dapper Don, Teflon Don. Yeah, man, there's a lot of Don names out there, but Jason Garnett and Ashley, let's go. Good evening, guys. Man, just a lot of love from the comments already. Love to see it. So look, guys, we can make this could be a 3-hour show. This could be a 3-hour show. So we're going to try our best to keep it moving. First, Ashley, let's kick it off. You're to my left. Garnett, pick it up after Ashley is finished. General thoughts on the team as a whole right now. Let's not talk Jets. Let's just talk about the team going into the season. How are you feeling in different spots? You can take this any direction you want.
I am excited to see defense. That's kind of what I've been saying from the beginning. I'm excited to see what we do with a new coordinator, all the young talent we have, Kyle Hamilton. I'm excited to see all of that. And I'm also excited to see what Lamar does this season because he seems really motivated. And whatever he earns on that contract, he's going to put it all out on the field this season and earn that money.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick up right there. For me, I'm so excited to see T-Bum, aka Tyler Linderbaum, man. You know, I can't just be, I'm not really one of those guys where I just keep on hyping up a guy every week by week, but this season time, I can hype him up. Like, I've been wanting, him since the draft when we finally got him, and just I want to see it finally in work. So that's one guy. I'm real curious about just the backfield, man. I just want to see how, what rotation we're gonna put. Obviously, I think we know Ben Powers is gonna be the starting guy. What we don't know, who made the actual depth chart. We don't know. That's been the stir of Twitter for the past 24 hours with this depth chart. So, but curious about the left guard. Curious about Ronnie Stanley, or is it gonna be Jawan James? Still don't know. Like, it's this whole line, man. It's like a to be continued episode of a TV show. Like, just when you think you figure something out, it's like, oh man, gotta wait till next week. Well, actually Sunday. So yeah.
That's right. That's right, G. Just a plug for Garnett right here. I'm gonna try to get him. Garnett, you and Ashley and I got to do a few draft shows, when it starts coming up, because actually Garnett has this horseshoe up as where when it comes to picking players, and he'll tell you it's all skill. But every player he talked about on the barbecue, first of all, he had a nickname for all of them. What was it? Cornbread, Falele.
Yep.
Travis Jones was the collard greens, right?
Yep.
What was Linderbaum? Mashed potatoes.
The fully loaded Beck's mashed. Baked potato.
Baked potato. Right. So he came with the references. We ended up drafting all of this guy. So yeah, we're gonna have to get together for all that. Simply with a request. Simply, ain't got to wait to make a move because I'll be loaded. All right. And Garnett laughed over that, so I'm gonna say it again. Ain't got to wait to make a move because I'll be loaded. Forgot to bring up transport, man. Forgot to bring up transport, and that's an underrated song. So yes, had to get some Kodak in there. It's week 1, bro. We play the Dolphins next week, I think. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, good thoughts all the way around. Motivated Lamar, Ashley, definitely. Now, I guess we'll talk about Lamar. I don't like to talk about contract stuff because it can get depressing, especially this. But yeah, when you got a player on a contract year playing for his money, and it sounds like Lamar's not budging off of what he wants. When they asked him today, he's like, well, you got to ask EDC. And I took that as, look, I told him what I wanted. If EDC wants to give it to me, I'll take it. If he don't, he don't. That's all speculation on my part, but that's kind of the way I saw it. And but a contract year, and Lamar, is under control for his 5th year as well. So the Ravens have some options, but Ashley, I always say, same thing. It makes you laugh, makes you cry. Like Lamar marches to his own beat. The only reason he slipped to 32 in this draft, Ashley, he wouldn't run the 40-yard dash. He wouldn't, you don't have an agent. Teams were reportedly couldn't get a hold of him, and he wasn't real open with them, and didn't go through all this. He didn't tell him what they wanted to hear. He was just himself. So because of all that, we were blessed as Ravens fans to get Lamar. But come contract time, man, thing makes you laugh, can make you cry.
100%. And all these teams that are a little lacking on the quarterback, or they got veterans in there, whatever it may be, they're going to be putting in offers. They're going to be looking at this year, Lamar's year, real close. So,
yeah, the whole contract thing. Hey, I'm just gonna wait till Friday and see what happens, man. I think I have a general idea of what might happen, but then again, you never know, man, with these Ravens or just Lamar, man. I think he, from a guy that really takes the side of players, he's doing the ultimate right move on his behalf. Like, play it out, man. He could go. You never know. He could go the Kirk Cousins route, or he could just do a Dak route where he just plays out. Knock on wood. The Dak route was smart, but without the, I'm not gonna say the I word. Let's avoid saying the I word. Hey, for week 1 through week 17 to the playoff, we're never saying the I word, okay?
Well, we'll have an I word report, so I may slip on that. So we're
yeah.
on who's practicing and who's not. But I feel you, Garnett.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, the way you're talking to, and you're reading between the lines, you're not expecting any miracles here at the last minute. But I mean, you just never know. That's why I don't like talking about contract stuff. Lamar could be playing a hard game of poker, and then if that offer is, say, 220 million guaranteed, 215, maybe Lamar's like, all right, that's okay, I'll take it. We don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of time worrying about it. I just say I enjoy every moment that Lamar is the quarterback that I'm rooting for and that I get to study. As a tape guy, man, you see so many things that Lamar does well. It's just beautiful, and he's already an NFL icon. Like, you can say what you want. A lot of people say, oh, he can't throw, or opinions are all over the map on Lamar as a quarterback. But one thing you can never take away from that man, he's already an icon. I mean, look at how people look at Michael Vick, and Lamar's already blown Vick away as far as like the 1,000-yard seasons and his acumen as a passer. So, speaking of quarterbacks, the Jets quarterback is somebody that we're a little familiar with, Miss Priyanka. That is Jersey Joe Flacco. I'm going to give my Dundalk accent. It's Joe Flacco on. We're going down to Captain Harvey's, get some subs. We're going to watch some Joe Flacco. So that's some East Baltimore out there for y'all that know. Joe coming back. Yeah, I'm going to be nostalgic, Ashley. I will, I'll have a little nostalgia in me. That being said, I hope we kick Joe's butt. What do you expect? How do you feel? What do you expect from Joe Flacco playing his former team? He's got to be juiced up.
Yeah, and I love Joe just as much as anyone does, but I've been seeing a lot of people speculating January Joe's going to come out playing his old team. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be, I don't want to say easy. I don't want to say it's going to be easy game, but I think the Ravens have this, and I'll just enjoy seeing Flacco against his old team for the memories.
Man, I'm gonna sound like hopefully the dude that Collinsworth. Man, something about Joe when you release the ball in his hands, a beautiful smile every time. When he does a rollout and does a crow hop, no one does it better than Joe Flacco. All right, I'm done with the impression. But like, seriously though, I feel like we're robbed. We're robbed of Joe Flacco in a way, but because the fact that now, because I've been watching on Twitter how they've been putting out videos of Joe personally, and it's like a whole nother side of Joe that we really did not see in Baltimore. Like the funny, like I can literally have a beer, some Bud Lights with Joe and just kick back and chill. It seems like he's like a real good bro, man. So that it's crazy how years later you realize, dang man, he was a cool dude, man. Like he was. Yeah, but anyway, I feel like, other than that, man, hey, Joe, you can have a couple beers after this L, and hopefully he's not, crow hopping to a 60-yard bum on us, man. But, yeah, that's literally anytime. That was my favorite moments of Joe, man. I might have to go probably dig in your archives, Jason, and see if I can find some crow hop, deep ball throws of Joe, if there are any.
Yeah, I got the Mile High Miracle, and that's about it. But that tape is really hard to find. Let me do my Collinsworth. You guys ready for this?
Yep.
Here's a guy. All right, that was it. That's all I got. Here's a guy. Yeah, that's Collinsworth. Hey, let's get to some more. I think I see some new people coming in. Oh yeah, and Marine, bro. Thank you for your service. Garnett just started to spread your business, but Endo in the house, man. Ravens online gatekeepers. You see him down there. Go ahead and give his channel a follow. Check him out. Always like talking to. And still haven't gotten official permission to call Hendo Hen Dog, but I'm looking for that. Looking for that permission. If you give me a thumbs up down there, bro, if I can do that. What about just to go around again? What do you expect from Flacco in this game? Because like I've always said, Joe Flacco is like the Forrest Gump movie. You know, I'm a movie enthusiast, not, but life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Like we could get 1 touchdown, 3 interception Flacco throwing the ball to who knows who, or we could get, like Ashley said, my favorite nickname for Joe is January Joe. Just lighting it up and starting fast, and we've seen him do it before. So what do we expect in this game, Ashley? Do you have any kind of feel for it? Because I sure don't.
Yeah, I don't know about like specific numbers. I do expect a pick. I'm not sure who on our defense is going to pick him off. It could be anybody, but I do expect a pick. He'll probably have 1 to 2 touchdowns. Who knows? Who knows? I could be completely wrong. He could be lighting us up and no interceptions, but I fully expect that's what I'm expecting the most out of everything is at least 1 pick.
Yeah,
Garnett, I want to set you up. Almost like, would you rather have Zach Wilson play in this game and not the unknown of Joe Flacco?
yeah, absolutely. I'd rather take a second-year quarterback going against very stouted defense that we have. Absolutely. Now with Joe, man, like you say, we don't know, but this is this is crazy. But you know, Jets got Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, 3 good, like really good receivers, and so he's like literally has a nice trio to fall back on, and also a running back that can catch out the backfield as well. And you know, and then I think they're good, man. That's the scary thing about them. But I know we're gonna get to the I word in a minute. That's the one thing about the Jets that's really other than their guards, which is cool, and they got a serviceable center. But you know, 2 good guards, but their tackles are a little bit beat up. So there's a chance that the one thing I know we know about Joe is not good on. Well, the Joe we know is not good under pressure. Like he'll crack. So if you get around his feet or whatever, because he's checked down Joe after that. He ain't January no more. He's checking.
All right, Garnett, save some of that, brother, because we're gonna have a big Jets preview coming up later. But yes, I agree with you. Hey, we got a Navy man in the house, man. Return of the Mac, go Navy. Really enjoy rooting for my Ravens literally all around the world. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. One of the best compliments I've heard all week was Garnett telling us about him following Engraven and Ken McCusick when he was all around the world and keeping him in the touch, and he appreciated them giving their, like, not just the news, but their opinion on it. So yeah, Percy, he wants Flacco because he can't run. Very true. Zach Wilson's got some mobility to his game. Joe Flacco, I think, was more mobile than people gave him credit for early, but I mean, nothing like today's quarterback. So yeah, definitely a difference there. So Ashley, can you please tell our viewers what they can do to help us out right now? And I also wanted to point out, if you wanted to skip the YouTube, getting their hands in stuff, there's the Cash App and Venmo down at the bottom. So feel free to use that as well. But Ashley, do your thing now.
Of course. Like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit post notifications. That will let you know every time we go live. We go live 8:30 on Wednesdays every week. And Jason is posting film and other content for you guys, so you'll never miss anything from him.
Well done. Beautifully done. Yes, we're going to do cut-ups throughout the season. Let's get to some Kevin Zeitler film, though. This is a player, like I said, a lot of times for offensive linemen, you're not going to get a whole highlight. So this is his highlights from last season. And I want you guys to notice the 2 things that I love about Kevin Zeitler is his smarts and mobility. He puts the 2 together and makes his blocks. And then also his pass blocking. We'll see some one-on-one matchups against these 3 techs. And the 3 tech, I learned that my mouse doesn't work on the screen, but you see the guy lined up on Kevin Zeitler's right shoulder. Okay, it looks like number 95. That is a 3 tech. Those are usually some of your best pass rushers. So you see Bozeman 77, the center, Zeitler at right guard, and the guy lined up on the right guard's right shoulder is the 3 tech. You see Mr. TJ Watt out there on the edge. So yeah, let's take a look at a couple of plays, and then I'm going to pause it, give my analysis of these plays, and then I'm going to pause it and kick it to the guys. And feel free to comment down at the bottom. Yeah, Don C. 78 sighting. Don C. doesn't. Yeah. Big Ben Cleveland in there, by the way. All right, so let's watch Kevin Zeitler on this play. I believe it's a run, and I believe he's going to pull to his left. Okay, no, this is a combination block. So you see how easy he got to the second level on a safety, by the way, number 34, before Latavius Murray trips over Bateman. But watch the timing. Knocks that guy, gets right to the safety, and sticks on him like glue. Just a great job by Zeitler on those combination blocks. Level 2 is where those linebackers are. So if you ever hear somebody say he gets to level 2, watch him get to the second level and get on 34, Terrell Edmonds. Make that block. Big run for Latavius Murray. Okay, here we go. Another same thing. Chips 91 really hard, gets on 44, pushes him to the ground. So you see him, Garnett, here on these combination blocks, move to the second level really quickly and get to the safeties and the mobile linebackers there, sir.
Yeah, man. So one thing I like about him, man, is the fact that, like, hey, can you play it back just one more time, just when I talk?
Sure.
Appreciate you. The reason why I'm saying that, I just want people to watch how low he gets under these chips. So he's not like just attacking high. He's making sure he gets under them. When he hits them, he's basically, here we go, perfect. Boom. And now he just literally gave that center a better grasping, a better point of control, getting, and then he moves on to the second level, man. And so, if you had any words about Linderbaum going against one-on-one against those industrial humans, as I call them, those nose tackles, those 0 techs, like literally Zeitler is gonna give him a little boost, and that little boost is really a big boost. So, and he's quick feet, like those feet are always moving, always going. The moment he makes contact, he knows he makes good contact. His eyes are already moving to the next level. So that's what I really love about Zeitler in so many ways, man.
Yeah, Ashley, what are you seeing there?
I really liked what you said about him noticing when he makes good contact and being able to move on like that. I think that Zeitler, he didn't get enough love last year from the fans because our line as a whole and linemen as a whole don't get enough love because without this, we don't have successful games.
Yeah, exactly. Just very unsung player. We're going to take a look at the next 2 plays here and jump right back in. There's Zeitler right there. Okay, here he is out in space blocking a cornerback. Nothing spectacular, but number 29 is a lot faster. Should be a lot faster than number 70. Zeitler squares him up there. And here we go with the pass protection one-on-one. Look at that. It gives Lamar time to step up. Unfortunately, Mr. Brown couldn't finish that catch, but let's take a look at those 2 plays again. Getting on a quicker player here. Sorry about the rewinding.
Oh, no, you're good.
Zeitler pulling to the right, getting on a cornerback, kicking him out. Ricard's leading the way. Nice job by Ricard getting on 2 people, by the way. Devontae Freeman, big run on the sideline. And then look at everything collapse around Lamar right here. So you see the pressure coming. I can't point, but you see the pressure coming from Lamar's left. He knows what AV is giving him. You got 3 Ravens over there, including Ben Powers, on 2 Dolphins. They're getting pressure. You got 2 guys on the right. Ricard helping out at right tackle with Tyree Phillips. And there's still pressure on Lamar. So we got 5 Ravens on 3 Dolphins, and Lamar's pressured. Kevin Zeitler by himself up there, pretty much still at the line of scrimmage to give Lamar time to step up. And he needed every inch of it to make this throw to Hollywood. Sailed on him a little bit. And then we'll see this one of my favorite plays. Him on the goal line, just clearing the way, getting to that guy so quickly. Things happen fast around the goal line to find his guy and to get that tough yardage. Ashley, a lot there, man. What was your favorite play? Did you like the pass protection like me?
I'm just shocked that he's a little quicker on his feet than I expected him to be. Like when you're actually paying attention like this, and I want to see more of that from him.
Yeah, and he's no spring chicken either. Actually, like he's been around the league, and he
Yeah.
obviously takes care of himself really well. So, I get a little nervous, Garnett. Like when players get older, is this the year they start to slip a little bit? You know what I mean? But Kevin Zeitler, I mean, he gives us. That's part of the reason why last year, I was talking about. Well, if we're going to run right-handed and pull our left guard, maybe Zeitler would be a good left guard. You know what I mean? On all these pulls and runs to the right.
Right, man. The one thing I'll say about Zeitler, man, is basically this new school terminology of getting caught lacking. And when you can't, like, if you're playing defense, this is a perfect play. Like that number 29, right? 29, he got caught lacking. It's one of the things where he was flat footed, thinking like I know he was trying to basically hold down the edge, but he let himself get caught lacking, as the young community call it. But anyway, I'm not worried. Like, think about this: if he was playing left tackle or in the tackle position, but guard is where you can, if you're, still you can play guard up to your like 34, 35 if you're taking care of your body correctly.
Sure.
And it still seems like he takes phenomenal care of himself, and you can see it, man. And also, he's playing in the perfect offense that allows him to be the aggressor instead of the person that's instead of the prey, I should say. So yeah, man.
I mean it is though. I Ashley, I was with Ashley last year when I first started watching Zeitler, and I'm like, man, I knew he was good, but I just couldn't believe how mobile he is. We're going to keep it going because we got a lot of plays to go through. Here we are again, 1-on-1. He's going to pancake that guy from the Browns. Just nice drive. Not a mauler, but a very mobile player. There's another combo block. And a little sticky there, too, on Terrell Edmonds, number 34, the safety. Another good block. I mean, this is the game-winning play against the Chiefs. You guys remember this? It was 4th and 1. Yeah. And instead of kicking it back to Mahomes, we're just going to run a Lamar keeper over here to the left. Right. Kevin Zeitler is the guy that Roman's calling on here to clear the way along with Ricard. But watch how quickly he finds someone. And he knows we're only trying to get 1 yard here. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to be fancy. Just find a guy and smash him. Love this play from Zeitler. And you could tell he put everything into that block. The Ravens celebrate, and they win that game.
Right.
This is a famous play you'll like. Look at that stunt and how quickly he picks that up. Garnett, thing of beauty. Lamar's going to have all day. This is one of those game-tying passes, I believe, to Andrews. Watch him pick it up, stick with it. Lamar got all day, and you guys might remember that play. I think that tied the game in regulation. So, again, a lot of the same things, Garnett.
Yeah, it is, man. And the beautiful thing, like I said, I already said it a little bit, but him and the chemistry and the connection him and Tyler Linderbaum is going to have. You're talking about two mobile dancing bears that can literally move down the field in unison. And that's going to be one beautiful thing to see, man. Just completely about it. It's like he's going to have good grades every week. I'm never worried about the grades with Zeitler. He's just going to be phenomenal, steady Eddie. I call this a super steady Eddie right guard, man. There's nothing to worry about whatsoever with this guy.
Ashley, anything to add to Garnett? Should we look at another couple of plays? What do you got?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's so important that he stuck with it during that Colts play because we see a lot of our other guys struggle with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's really got to stick here in a crucial part of the game, a veteran, picking up the stunt very easily. Great eyes by Zeitler and allows that game-winning or game-tying play. Here we are against the Dolphins again. He's just going to run his man right around the pocket, give Lamar all day to find his main man, Andrews, in a tough game against that zero blitz the Dolphins brought. Here he is again. You see him tapping the center on the butt. I mean, he was giving the signals to Bradley Bozeman. I think part of that had to do with snapping issues. But here he is again, blocking one-on-one. That's what you need from your right guard. Giving Lamar time, dump it off to Sammy Watkins there. Oh, by the way, for all you Prochet haters, I was watching the LBHT crew. I almost said something in the comments. Watch my man Prochet get out and block right there. See him on the edge? Blocking number 27. 27 don't like it. Prochet don't care. That's a dog, bro. Zeitler again with a pull. Squaring his man up and sticking with him. Took that guy right out to play as Huntley dances down the sideline. So you see what you can get from the highlight videos. Here's another one-on-one block. Just absolutely stonewalls his guy. What you can get is just traits. You know, you don't have to know a lot, but you'll be able to pick it up. Nice positioning there by Zeitler.
Right. And the thing about Zeitler, big thing, like he might give up maybe 1 or 2 steps back. It's short, choppy stuff though. But once he gets his feet dug in, he's done. His anchor is phenomenal, man. That's one thing I love about Zeitler, man. Big time. Like he doesn't give up ground a lot whatsoever.
No, no. And sometimes you have to give up a little ground because if you try to go for the gusto right away, the guy can overpower you if you're not in a good position. So you got to be patient. Sometimes you got to give up a few yards. Like Ronnie Stanley's famous for that. He'll give up a little bit of ground, but then once he anchors, it's over. And he has all that trust on Lamar's blind side. There we go. And always good to see some Steelers highlights. 57, Adams doing everything he can to get away from Zeitler. I thought that was a good job by Adams, but Zeitler sticks right with him.
Perfect example of anchoring right there. That previous play.
Again, a nice and it like I don't know if you noticed this, Ashley, but his intelligence on every block. Like it seems like Zeitler knows what to do in that moment for that specific block when things don't go drawn up. Look, I gotta dive at the guy, I will. I gotta overpower the guy, I will. I gotta get there fast, I will. Like this football intelligence shows up to me. I'm not sure if that's something that you've noticed here through these highlights.
Yeah, the hyper awareness of everything around him.
Yeah, just feel for the play. Gee, that's so good to have, him next to Linderbaum. I think that'll really help Tyler Linderbaum, Gee.
Absolutely. It'll definitely tremendously help him. And then, in the midst of it, once, Linderbaum gets a feel for the game, it's just one of the things, a list of Zeitler worries down the road, and he can probably help out with, Morgan Moses at the time needs. It's gonna gel. I feel like it's gonna gel maybe in less than maybe 2 to 3 games after that. On to the next, person, I guess you could say.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well said, G. Yeah, right guard's helping the right tackle and the center. There he is giving the signal. One-on-one block again. So you guys see what I mean. Examples are all over there. Nice catch by Prochet. How your right guard has got to be good in pass protection because he's often given one-on-ones where the center's helping the left guard. Beautiful job. 59, Devondre Campbell, I believe is his name, was an all-pro last year or Pro Bowl player. Really good linebacker there with the hair coming out, 59. Zeitler finds him and is able to wall him off to the sideline to give Murray. I mean, these are big runs. They don't look like it from this angle. You're talking 10, 12, 15-yard runs. And again, look at that, the final one. Let me just throw you into your teammate over there. I kind of like this one just for the aesthetics on it. Let me be physical and throw him right into the pile. So we're going to end on this one, G. Get out, little 36 trying to rush. I mean, he ain't playing that, bro. Little 36.
Not at all, man. So that's what I really like about with the grit and nastiness of him at times. Yeah, we're going to be good, man.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the film study tonight because we have so much else to get to. The Ravens made a move this week. They brought in Kyler Fackrell. Now, I've recognized his name, but, I remember him in Green Bay. The moves made this time of year, Ashley, you're not getting impact guys, but Fackrell did have 10.5 sacks in 2018, which surprised me. That's a ton of sacks for Green Bay. 23.5 career sacks. So I feel like he could be a sub rusher. Something happens to Justin Houston or Adafe, where you have somebody that can rush the passer on third down. I kind of like his career sack numbers better than Steven Means, to be honest with you, Ashley.
Yeah, and I watched a little bit of his film, courtesy of Simply, and he looks like somebody who's gonna get the job done. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad that we didn't sign like a big name, like you said. At this point in the season, he's gonna get the job done for us, and that's all you can really ask.
Yeah, like Fackrell is how I knew about Fackrell. I'll tell you this. I used to play Madden back in the day, but I stopped playing a long time ago after I figured out like it's getting bored. But that's like do the late round fantasy draft. I'm like, man, I need a depth piece or just a guy that I can move around. I'm like, Fackrell, well, he's pretty about 6'3", 6'4" guy. Seemed like he could be a little athletic on coming off the edge and all these things. So I was like, all right, let me just get him. So, and then, that's how I, figure out who he was, a couple years ago or whatever. But yeah, man, I feel like it was just a nice, potential serviceable rotating, pass rusher, man. I feel like it's gonna be he might be very helpful. We'll see, man. When the time comes when you step on the field, at least you're gonna get some kind of help come off the edge.
Yeah, that's right. And we just need bodies, and this is something that I've been talking about. I'm going to give myself some flowers here. Oh, by the way, wanted to say, this man right here, Ashley just gave him some love. Simply AS10, best highlights in the business by far. Hype video for the 2022 season out. Got me a little fired up. I admit, yeah, man, just one of the best in the business. So Simply AS10. If you don't know, now you know. I think a lot of people said that, Garnett. I'm not remember. That used to be a phrase back in the day. But anyway, giving myself some flowers here because the Ravens are going to play a four-man front. I think the days of the 3-4 are kind of slipping away due to just the personnel and how the Ravens attack the offseason. And what I mean by that is David Ajabo was drafted. Not only is he injured, but actually he's a guy that isn't very experienced, as a football player. And is a rusher. He doesn't have a lot of experience dropping into coverage. Mike McDonald just let him eat and go after the quarterback. Tyus Bowser, the one guy who did drop into coverage on the Sam side, on the strong side, injured. Did the Ravens do anything to replace him? No. As a matter of fact, they tried to get Za'Darius. Za'Darius is not a dropper in coverage either. He is an edge rusher. So finally today, we started to get a little bit of a clue from Calais. When he walked up to the camera before, you can't see this unless you watched it live. He was like, yeah, maybe they'll pay me as an edge rusher too. The money's good. Calais is going to be playing some 5-tech on the edge, and we're going to see some 4-man fronts from the Ravens. So don't freak out about outside linebacker depth is what I'm saying, Ashley.
Yeah, and that, like you were saying, just as long as we have bodies that we're bringing in, that's the most important part. I have confidence that our new defensive coordinator knows what he's doing. It's a completely different defense than it was last year. It's not going to look the same.
And gee, dude, we're going to look at Kyle Hamilton's snap counts. My next forward thinking is Kyle Hamilton is going to be our Peter Boulware / outside linebacker. Obviously, he's not going to be rushing the passer. He's not Terrell Suggs, not Matt Judon. What I'm saying is Kyle Hamilton is going to be behind the matched up on the tight end on that side. Great way to get him on the field as a third safety, G.
Yeah, it is, man. And like to get back what you said about the whole Calais Campbell part, man. Like, I'm so glad you said that because how did they use him in Jacksonville again?
4-3, bro.
Exactly. So it's one of the things where a lot of these guys that that came out of college or whatever, this is why I can't wait to see how we're going to use Bowser, because Bowser literally, coming out of Houston, was a 4-3 outside linebacker. And you know what? He had his best collegiate game against Lamar Jackson out of all people as that Sam linebacker. So it's hopefully he comes back fully healthy, and like he never left. But a lot of these guys are going to have phenomenal years, I believe, in this defense. Like I said, I hyped it up in the last show we did with Sarah Ellison. And that's why I'm so confident. If we're really going to do this 4-3 thing, we both talked about for a minute, we got all the pieces. That's why I say there's no excuses for this defense not to be great.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, Ashley, because I think I remember saying that, Yannick and Judon and others, when they leave, they say, well, I really didn't get a chance to rush the passer. I was playing the run. My opportunities were on 3rd and long, and, 1st and 10, I really didn't get to do that. I was dropping in coverage. Well, now, it's been a bugaboo for a lot of Ravens fans. Why are we drafting edges in the 1st round like Adafi Away, having them drop into coverage? So, yes, Yolanda, yeah, glad you mentioned it. Ed rush has me a bit concerned. I'm still concerned, Yolanda. I don't want to say Sarah Ellison was pretty concerned. It was, she's a very positive person in general, but, she's got to be honest with the depth. But I love what Garnett said about Calais Campbell's big sack numbers came as a 4-3 defensive end. I mean, he had double digits not too long ago when he was in Jacksonville. You're going to let guys like Matabike and Travis Jones eat up the middle and not have to hold the line. When you 2-gap, you got to hold the line. You got to be responsible for the gap on this side and the gap on that side. So when you play a 4-3, chances are somebody along the line is just going to be able to shoot a gap and get his butt in the backfield. That's what I think Travis Jones does well. That's what Matabike does best. I don't think Matabike is a two-gapper. He's a penetrator, man. You see him blow up runs in the backfield. Dafio Way, same thing. Justin Houston could have a big year. We have the horses to rush the passer and get pressure in the quarterback's face. Ashley, this has got to make you – I know Wink frustrated you at times last year, but like to me, I'm actually a little excited about this is where some fans are freaking out.
100%. And I don't think maybe they're taking that into account because when you brought up Yannick and Judon, they were Pro Bowlers the year they left in different schemes. And this is going to be a different scheme for us because Wink is not our coordinator in Baltimore anymore.
Yeah. And just a caveat of something what you said about Kyle Hamilton. One more thing. My biggest thing about Kyle, about just the defense coordinator himself or how we're going to utilize him, is keep it simple. Like literally, just kiss. Keep it simple for the guy. Because like the chart that you show him, right, is beautiful. Left safety, 306. Single high safety, 273. And then I'll let you read off the left off when you get to your point. But just his first year in the NFL, let's give him simple assignments and just, hey, what made you great at Notre Dame? We're going to let you be that guy. Like, we're going to give you the most simple thing, and then, hey, it's on you to make that play. We're going to trust you to trust your eyes and capitalize. That's my biggest thing with Kyle.
Yeah. For those of you who are concerned about the edge, I'm not saying you shouldn't be. You know, obviously it would be great to have more depth at edge rusher. You know, Calais Campbell is your third option at edge. You know, he hasn't played there in a while. He's up there in age. But, yeah, he was joked today. Tight ends can't block me. And he's right, bro. Like, guards can't block Calais Campbell. Tight end doesn't have a chance. I want to get to Jeff J real quick. What's Travis Jones' status? We'll have an injury thing coming up later. But Travis Jones is the only Raven on the 53 roster who's not practicing, Jeff. So, it looks like he's going to be a week 2, week 3 kind of guy, maybe start practicing in another week or so and see how quickly he can ramp up. It just depends. But yes, the Kyle Hamilton. So I'm looking at the first 2 columns on the at the top of the left and the first column at the top of the right. So left safety, single high safety, and right safety. So you see, he played a lot of split safeties, like between left safety and right safety. What is that, Ashley? 664 snaps as a duo combo in safety. Single high handling safety by himself is what single high means. By himself, covering all center field. Ed Reed style, 273. But what I really see from him, Ashley, is being that you see all those inside linebackers, outside linebackers, middle linebackers. Like, the reason for that isn't for him to tackle against the run. It's for him to use his length and get his hands up in the passing lane on that second level that we saw Zeitler climbing to. And just disrupt the pass game. And I think he can cover the tight end. Like the Jets have CJ Uzama. I think that's a good matchup for him, Ashley. That's not a uber athlete. Like Kyle Hamilton should be able to cover him when we need to and be disruptive against the run.
Yeah, and what Garnett was saying earlier about just let him do what he's good at, and then we'll move on from there. I don't want to do the same thing we've been doing with our linemen, shuffling him around in so many different positions. Just let him do what he's good at, and then as the season moves on, as he gets more comfortable, as he gets more confident, he can move into this type of role that we've seen him do at Notre Dame and be so great at.
Yeah, Garnett, that's why I say, I've hold strong. Like, give Chuck the green dot. Let him do his thing. You don't want to call Hamilton's head swimming and see him make mistakes. Like, just put him in advantageous positions, bro. I love what you're saying, Garnett.
Right. Like, yeah, man. Like, this, what you're showing is, like, basically, if you was to change the name to Derwin James of the NFL, that would be Derwin James. And I think he has all the chances of potential to be of something of that nature. Just the first year, man, just let this man be a baller, just ball hawk. Just, hey, we're going to put you right here. You've seen the film all week. You know where to react and know where to respond. Just go get the door ball, or just be around the ball and make a play.
There you go, man. Yeah. So the Ravens, I like Percy's comment here again too. Multiple fronts. we have always been a multiple front team. Like we played 4-3 some last year. It just depends. And we have the personnel to do it. And his last whatever there, 3 safeties. We have the safety depth to be able to really play some games versus the run, versus the pass. If you got a big receiver, we can cover you and we can be strong in the box. So yeah, this is a college level we're looking at for Kyle Hamilton's stats. This isn't the NFL. I would not expect him to do all this at his first year as the NFL for all the reasons that Ashley and Garnett stated. But yeah, he brings you some flexibility where you could give him maybe 3 of these assignments. You know what I mean? Maybe he's a starter in 3 or 4 different packages. He can play more than half the snaps and really contribute to the game. So final thoughts on Kyle Hamilton, man. I know I forget his name, asked about like what we thought about Kyle Hamilton. If you're in the chat, bro, it's Fish Trainer asked about Kyle Hamilton. That's our thoughts on him. So we'll just go around one more time. Ashley, what do you expect from him this year? How much growing pains? How confident are you that we can put him in positions where he can show out?
I'm fairly confident in him, and he is just a sheer athlete, and it's just talent with him. So I don't feel like it's going to be too hard for that to translate over in college. But like you said, it's not the same thing. So I don't expect all of those numbers, but I do expect his knowledge and athleticism to translate fairly easy over into the NFL.
Same here. I was a little skeptical about Mike McDonald, but more and more I'm thinking about it. And obviously, week 1, we guess just probably going to either give me a strong opinion about it, and I'm probably going to stick with it. But I do for now. I'm thinking, he's going to really try to take care of these guys and put them in the right. Like the line that I came up with, he's not going to create bad film for a player. That's how I look at it. He's not going to put you in a horrible position, and then the following week you'll watch a film. He's going to be like, no, why did I put you there? I'm not going to put myself in that position. So, yeah, I think he's going to be fine, man.
Yeah, I get good vibes off of him. I mean, who knows? But I really like the way what he did last year at Michigan, where it was not a Ravens type defense. It just wasn't. It didn't look like Winks at all. So he went to a brand new college, coaching audition, and forgot everything he learned for the Ravens for 7 years and really used the best players he had to their advantages. And I think a couple of players will benefit big time. I think Patrick Queen could really benefit here big time too. Because when we blitz, it's not going to be – I feel like it's going to be a linebacker blitz, and PQ is an obvious choice for that because of how good he is as a blitzer. So Patrick Queen could have 5 sacks this year. It wouldn't shock me. Matabike, Travis Jones, those guys could have 5 sacks, and it wouldn't shock me. And I think that this is good considering the opponents we face to get some pressure up in their face. So let's talk about this game this Sunday, man. Week 1, New York Jets in New York on September 11th versus Joe Flacco. I mean, Ashley, can you get any more emotion for an opener? Like, openers are always emotional. Everybody thinks their team's going to win the Super Bowl. You know how the fans are at the stadium. Then, of course, the day of remembrance, people are going to be in their emotions in New York. You know it. And then Joe Flacco, Joe Cool, wants some revenge on the Ravens. You know he wants to show out while he's still got a chance in the NFL. You never know. Actually, this could be Joe's last game as Zach Wilson comes back and does what he – you never know. So a lot of emotion, I think, for the Ravens to be able to have to match here in New York.
Yeah, and it seems pretty scripted as the NFL. There's a ton of quarterbacks playing their ex teams, especially week 1 and moving forward. So I'll be excited to see that. And like you were saying, just emotions. So I'm sure it'll be a great game. Ravens win, obviously. And I'm just seeing in the comments too, Simply can never say that you never said anything good about his guy, Patrick Queen.
That's right, Simply. I do say I have a type. But Patrick Queen, man, I think he would make a huge difference on this team if he had that third-year breakout. I mean, man, it would just because we're already stacked everywhere else. We're pretty stacked everywhere else, especially if Marcus is healthy. So, I mean, Patrick Queen would just be a huge boost to this defense. Ashley, so I'm confused here. Are we rooting for Baker or the Browns this week?
100% Carolina.
Go Baker, right? The Baker Bros are going to be crying in their or the Baker Bros like Baker. I get confused on all this.
Yeah, the Baker Bros are like the die-hard Baker can do no wrong type of people.
Okay, so how will they feel this week if Baker like tears up the Browns like I expect him to?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of Baker Bros. I haven't seen them for quite a while, so maybe there's still some out there and they'll be real excited.
Garnett, what do you think, man? Baker Bros and then Joe Flacco and the emotion in New York is what I'm getting at here. Week 1 and then everything else that's involved with it.
Yeah, the week 1 9/11 in New York, that's gonna be pretty crazy, symbolic, and all the energy and all these things that just galore, whatever. Heard rumors that what was it, Firehouse Ed, I think I forgot his name, what they call him. He might, come out to the game for that. So yeah, man, it's gonna be real ecstatic out there, man. A lot of energy, man. So I'm real curious to see how that's gonna go. Man, it's gonna be tough. Like I would say it shouldn't be tough, but at the same time, for that first quarter, a lot of emotions gonna be riding out. Yeah, a lot of emotions gonna be riding out, man, and just hopefully we can kill the emotion with one big play on offense or on defense or something, and then go right back to game script. You had your moment, New York.
It's an emotional game. Football's an emotional game, and week 1 sometimes is an outlier. You could see a team beat another team, and then they're terrible the rest of the year. So week 1s always make me nervous. I feel like the Ravens have done pretty well on week 1. Aside from last year, like beating Cleveland down 38-6, just a tremendous performance. Yeah, Don C with a rare L here. Don C, you missed it. What was it? An S bomb in the first 2 minutes of the show? Garnett, what happened?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Doesn't know what's going to happen. We have Yuri. Yuri, where are you, bro? You going to give your Jets your expert advice or what, man? You pop up on the screen. You got the link. And, Garnett, give it to me straight, bro.
All right, so we go. So it's going to be Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Broncos country. Let's ride. Broncos country. Let's ride. He emphasized all of it. Man, cheesy leader. But I mean, whatever. He's a pretty emotional player. I like Russ. He had a lot of, like you said, Ashley, the NFL is no dummy. They know what they're doing. They can get some of these don't look exciting games on paper until you figure out who's playing who and the revenge and all that. Like Browns Carolina week 1, I'd normally be like, whatever. But Baker's, quarterback of the Panthers, I want to see that. So yes. But yeah, the Jets have some talented playmakers. Garnett mentioned earlier. Elijah Moore, a guy I liked a lot. I still like Bateman better than him. I had Bateman over Elijah Moore on my draft board. But I was a big Elijah Moore fan, especially since I believe T. Higgins is his uncle, father, related to not T. Higgins, T. Martin, the Ravens coach, is related to Elijah Moore. So I thought he was in play. Great receiver. The one that and then Garrett Wilson was a first-round pick on my board, ended up being a first-round pick. The guy I think that's overrated a little bit, Ashley, I want to get your feelings on Mr. Corey Davis, because a lot of Ravens fans wanted him and were really upset that the Ravens didn't sign him. But every time I feel like we play Corey Davis, it's just like a big, all right, yeah, he's okay, but I'm not really scared of him.
I just think a lot of our fan base, not everyone, but I think they're just really desperate for a wide receiver that people know, because I will never forget how down bad everyone was for Kenny Golladay, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, down bad. Yeah. Garnett, I say you like Jets. Oh, Jets have this huge advantage on weapons. Well, Bateman or Andrews and company, likely and company, or Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, who hasn't proven anything, and Corey Davis, Denzel Mims. Okay, you want to give the Jets the advantage? I feel you. I just don't feel like it's like.
Oh no! So here's my whole thing. Corey Davis, he was my draft crush coming out of Western Michigan, and he went to the Tennessee Titans, as we all know, so on and so forth. But a couple of injuries here or there and all those things. Like, so the biggest thing, the reason why he chose the Jets that all season, well, I think a lot of people, just a quick backstory, and I'm just moving on to the real segment. His brother played for the New York Jets before he died. So that's the connection between the whole Jet stories or whatever, man. So there was a reason why he went there. Just obviously get paid and be a number one in that position. But just to, play with his brother was last playing with, right? But I like I said, I love Corey Davis coming out. Garrett Wilson, as much as we like, it's one of those weird things with rookies, right? We hype up Likely, but as what I guess with the, like I said, the young community, Garrett Wilson is him. Like, I can't take it away from him. Like, he's gonna be a nice baller, and Elijah Moore is him as well. They got a lot of hims. So it's so I'm Joe Flacco, like I said, he's gonna have
Garnett, you named two hymns.
That's not
we got two hymns over here too, bro.
They got two hymns, but Corey Davis is nice though. I'm not gonna. I know he might have had bad games against us, but he's still a really nice, serviceable receiver. Like, that's why I somewhat edge it. But then again, we don't know what DeMarcus Robinson might bring, or Isaiah Likely. They might be him. Well, we know exactly Isaiah Likely could be a him. So like I said, it's a coin toss, man. It's a coin toss for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we got the most important him, number 8. That's who controls the game. So that's why the Ravens are 7-point favorites in my opinion. Ashley, you look at the offensive line, defensive line. Okay, the Ravens have a big advantage, I think, versus the Jets' offensive line. Let's go to the report real quick before we bring Marshall on. The Jets have their starting left tackle, Dwayne Brown, not practicing. Okay, that's not good. Okay, Dwayne Brown, longtime Seahawk, steady player, not practicing. Their right tackle and their center are both limited in practice. They're beat up. So you're looking at 3/5 of their offensive line is hurting against this Ravens front that we just got done hyping up. That could be a huge advantage, especially when you don't have a mobile quarterback. Flacco will be sitting there. We know, Ashley, Flacco is not afraid to take a hit and make a throw, stand tall in the pocket. I mean, give him his credit there. He's a brave quarterback, a tough quarterback. But I feel like that gives the Ravens a big advantage. Like, key to the game for me before we bring Marshall on, get some pressure on Joe Flacco with that beat-up offensive line of the Jets.
Yeah, and he can have all the great weapons, and you can hype that up all you want, but it's not necessarily going to do anything if your line is all beat up and he can't get to his weapons.
Garnett, I'm going to throw this to you. I'm going to read out some numbers here. When the Ravens have the ball, okay? Stick with me. Last year, the Ravens were 16th in yards per attempt. So even with Tyler Huntley coming in and all the struggles, the Ravens were middle of the pack. Every time they dropped back, they averaged 7 yards per attempt. The Jets' pass defense was almost as bad as the Ravens. They gave up 7.5 yards per attempt. They were 29th in the league. So the Jets obviously drafted Sauce Gardner in the first round, one of their many first-round picks. But still, wasn't a great secondary last year. And, of course, they have DJ Reed limited in practice.
So they made a couple significant upgrades, but, when you said DJ Reed been hurt, so that's going to be, a very questionable Sauce. The mythical legend, the mythical creature of corners that never gave up a touchdown in college. So, we're going to, in the boxer's terminology, we're going to test out his chin a lot probably, so I'm very curious about that. But secondary wise, man, as a whole, I think this is where, this was where I was talking about earlier about DeMarcus Robinson being that other guy across from Bateman. I feel like he could have a day. I think Bateman can have a day, but he could definitely have a day. Because if there's any blood in the water, like, it's time to eat if he's a shark. That's the best way.
One thing, I was watching some local Jets commentators. That's where you get your info from. Just like us here. They said Sauce, they don't expect him to travel. Well, guess who can travel? Rashad Bateman. He can run every Garnett, you're going to love this. He can run every damn route in the route tree. and line up anywhere, slot, right side, left side. So unless Mr. Sauce wants to move, Jets have some pretty weak number 2, number 3 cornerbacks.
Man.
He can be moved around and have himself quite a damn day. See, I said damn twice just for you.
Damn. Well, you got me said it. I accidentally said it. Hey, Jason dropping the D on y'all. Pause. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah. So Ashley, I'm going to give it to you. Just ignore that comment from Garnett. Well, Ravens have the ball. Now we finished 5th in the league in yards per attempt, Ashley. 4.8 yards per carry. So, 2021, 2019, we were like 5.5 yards per carry. Last year, we dropped to 4.8, but that was still 5th in the league. The Jets allowed 4.5 yards per carry. That was 22nd in the league. So Jets, man, overall, that's how they finished with 4 wins last year, Ashley. Not a great defense. They added Jermaine Johnson in the first round and Sauce Gardner, but the Ravens should have some opportunities to put up some points if the Jets are anything like they were last year on defense.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I didn't look at this as so much of a threat going into it, because like you said, all they've really done is add in some top prospects, and I'm not going to say that they're not going to succeed in that defense, because maybe eventually they will, but week 1 is a very high standard to set for them, and especially against the Ravens and Lamar Jackson and company, Mark Andrews.
Garnett, are we going to be able to run the ball on these guys with Kenyon Drake and Mike Davis?
I believe so, due to just the fact that, like, week 1, this is how I look at it, man. Just the fact of Lamar's impact on a young, I would say, here's the thing. So Lawson used to play for the Bengals, so he has some sort of, knowing of like relative information of playing Lamar. But JJ11, as I call him, the quarterback merchant, that was my favorite edge rusher come out this year's draft. Obviously we passed up on him for
Jermaine Johnson. Yes.
Yeah, that was my guy. But literally, he's going against Lamar, so he's gonna be put in multiple situations where obviously he's a crazy athlete, but he ain't played a Lamar type of athlete. So I'm very curious about that. Jonathan Franklin Myers, I think I said his name or his last name correctly. Franklin Myers. He's a good guy. He's a good player. Also, Quentin Williams. They got a good defensive front seven. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm not gonna blow any smoke. They're good. But week 1, you're going against a team that's trying to prove a lot. Like, they got a lot of anger from the previous year. So that's how someone will look at it. But obviously, when it comes to the left, like I said, the left guard, the left tackle, I just got to know who's going to be there, and then I can really have a strong feeling for it.
Okay, no problem. So just to turn it over before we get to Marshall here, when the Jets have the ball, they were 25th in yards per pass attempt. They couldn't throw really well. We know the Ravens were 31st, next to last. I think dead last in yardage, but we couldn't cover last year. Brand new secondary, of course. The Jets were 9th in rushing, so they did stick with the run, averaged 4.4 yards per carry. But the Ravens, Ashley, 3.8 yards per carry allowed. Like, we got back to old school Ravens run defense. Joe Flacco is going to have to use his weapons in this game, because I don't feel like the Jets will be able to successfully run the ball on this Ravens defense that is full of run stuffers and is traditionally good against the run.
No, and I think they will use that to their advantage. I think they will, realize you have a veteran quarterback who can throw the ball. So I'm expecting more of that than the run. And considering last year, you have to take into account it was Zach Wilson. So we do have a different quarterback situation. Not that it's just so drastically different. It is different, but it's not, Joe Flacco's not going to turn. He's not going to be January Joe. I'm not expecting that.
Garnett, they ain't going to be able to run the ball on us. They're going to have to throw. What are you feeling? What's the odds they can run the ball on us with this rookie running back, Breece Hall, who I like, Michael Carter, pass catching back, maybe some screen game for him? What are you feeling from the Jets here, bro?
I think they might be able to run the ball a couple of times, but it really just also about situation dictates, to be honest with you, like how I was talking about maybe a couple of times in the previous shows, where it really just comes down to just ball control, time of possession really is going to be a key thing. And then hopefully, like I said, if our offense are clicking or whatever, and we come out there and drop 7, and then we 3-and-out them, and drop another 7. Now we're making, the New York Jets pace themselves on a situation that they don't want to be in. So I think, they might try to, like, the best bet for them to get us is maybe in a fast tempo, up tempo pattern, but at the same time, who knows is going to do that in week 1 like that unless you just got crazy firepower galore. But
yeah,
they might get a couple yards here and there, but I don't see nothing major happening unless, God, knock on wood, we just miss tackles galore. You know what I mean? Like, we just can't wrap up for some weird reason.
That's a concern of mine, is the tackling. Hey, Devin, what's up, man? What's up, Jason? What's up, Ashley? What's up, Garnett? What's up, Devin, man? Thank you, bro. And Don C doing the plug. So, Mr. Yuri, I see you backstage. Get yourself ready. Ashley's going to do her thing for us one more time. Tell people how they can help the channel like Don C did.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to hit post notifications so that you are notified every single time we go live. Every Wednesday at 8:30, and Jason is always uploading other content such as film, cut up, things like that, so you'll never miss anything from Jason.
Beautiful picture of Garnett, by the way. I should have did he's got that dog in him. Let me take him off until he's ready. Let's add the young buck. All right, so let's get something straight first of all. Take your microphone off of mute there, young man. Let me.
Good.
There you go, veteran presence. Now, is that a gaming headgear you have on? And also, shall we call you Yuri or shall we call you Marshall? I need this.
So, first off, I cannot. My lawyer says I cannot acknowledge whether or not the headset that is currently on my head is used for other things besides recording videos. So I will let that for everybody else to decide. And the second thing is, what was the second thing?
What's your name, sir?
Whatever anyone's comfortable with. Yuri, Marshall, Mr. Yuri / Marshall. Either is fine.
Bro, I ain't calling you Mister. You're like young enough to be my son, bro. Like,
that doesn't matter. All that matters is someone out there gave me that name for Mr. Yuri, and that's what I go by. So
I'm sorry.
call you Yuri Jr., bro. Yuri the third. So, hey, go ahead, Garnett. What you got?
No, the look on your face, like you're like looking down on him. Hey, yo, you know, you're my son. Like the way it was perfect, man.
Hey, man, yeah, we like to have fun on the show.
To be fair, I bought a plot of land in England, so technically I'm a knight, because if you buy a plot of land in England, you can get knighted. So technically I'm a knight. So technically, I think I do deserve the respect of Mr. or at least Lord Yuri, Mr. Yuri. Either works.
Yeah, that kind of cheese, bro. You better be putting a super chat donation down. Christ, plot of land in England. Where's this guy come from? I think you put those headphones on so you can turn the sound up when you're watching videos you're not supposed to be watching, sir. That's my own personal take on the situation. Anyway, you're not here to talk about videos you're not supposed to be watching, unholy videos. We are talking about matchups. So Mr. Yuri is I just called you Mr. Yuri. He's a matchup guy, bro. Give us a matchup to talk about, sir. What should we be looking for in this game?
So the biggest thing is the Jets run a 4-man front, and you're going to see Tyler Linderbaum not be shaded up over the head. Like, no one's going to line up over his head. It's mostly likely going to be the guards. And the biggest matchup that I'm looking at is Quinnen Williams versus Ben Powers, the left guard situation. I think that's going to be huge, pivotal situation for the game. You know, Ben Powers obviously is the left guard according to the PR team's depth chart that was released a couple days ago. And then you have Quinnen Williams, who is a top 10 pick, I think, from his draft class. And he's a very talented football player. He had like 6 sacks last year. Pretty good interior rusher. So that is the first one I'm looking at personally, Jason.
All right, so I'm going to kick it to Ashley and then Garnett on this. What that means to me is Linderbaum's going to have to help out Ben Powers on a monster like Quinnen Williams. And what does that come back to? What we were looking at earlier in the show, Ashley. Kevin Zeitler, he's going to have to handle the business one-on-one on his side. can we handle a monster like Quentin Williams in the middle?
I'm going to be optimistic and say yes, especially if he's getting a little bit of assistance. And I don't want to. I don't want to talk too negatively about Ben Powers until we see him this season. I know we've been a little critical of him on this show, but I just want to wait until we see him this season. Maybe he's improved. Maybe he is a whole new person this year.
Brand new Powers. Yeah, Garnett, I saw you laughing down there. What are you drinking, sir?
I can't name this. I'm not going to name the beer because we're not getting sponsored.
No free sponsors.
No free sponsors, but it's a grown man beverage.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, hey, man, handling Quentin Williams and can Zeitler hold up 1-on-1 against a 3-tech if we have to double team Williams a lot?
Yeah, man. Before we get that, I just want to say it actually had me dying because I felt the viciousness about the critical when she said it. I was like, oh, she means business. Like that critical said so much with one word. But man, I think Powers, man, you remember that video of him before the draft or during the draft line? He was talking about crushing people's dreams. I'm still waiting for that moment, bro. So yeah, I know. Yeah.
He also said, "My strength is my strength." I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, you're about to go against literally. I think it was a top 3 or top 4 draft pick. Quentin Williams was when he came out, man. It was just a freakish athlete come out of Alabama, Roll Tide, and yeah, man, he's about to be testing. This is where Linderbaum, you're about to have a beautiful tape week 1. I can't wait. Jason, please give Jason the best tape to cut up because this is your week, bud. This is gonna be beautiful. You chip away, get to the second level. There's this other guy from Alabama that used to be a Raven named C.J. Mosley. You put him on his butt for us, and I'm telling you, yeah, T-bomb, baby, T-bomb, it is.
All right, so Yuri, give us your analysis, and then please move on to your next key matchup. Give us your analysis of Quentin Williams on Powers, and then move on.
I think in the run game, I think we'll be all right. I think Ben Powers is a good enough run blocker he's not going to get pushed back, but he's also not going to move him off the ball. So he's kind of have to angle it in a certain way to, runs coming up the center. You kind of got to turn Quentin Williams to the right. Runs coming off his left side, you got to turn him to the left. But I don't think Ben Powers is the kind of guy we're going to ask him, hey, go move this guy off the ball. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Quentin Williams is just too much of an athlete and a freak of nature to kind of move him off the ball. But I think the pass game, that is the biggest thing for me. I'm very concerned. I think Quentin Williams is a heck of a pass rusher, and I do think that is Ben Powers' weakness. So all in all, I'm a little uncertain about it. I think it'll depend on who's playing left tackle and then Linderbaum helping them. It'll all kind of coincide of how that matchup turns out. But going to the next one, you guys were kind of talking about it earlier. So it depends on if Sauce Gardner has the gonads to travel with Rashad Bateman. But if he doesn't, it will be DJ Reader and Rashad Bateman most likely head-on-head in this game. So that is the next matchup I would go with. I think DJ Reader is a good zone corner, but I think in man, he's not going to be able to hold Rashad Bateman's jockstrap. I think Rashad Bateman should be able to take advantage of him. And if Sauce Gardner ever has the, once again, gonads to line up on Rashad Bateman and press him, I think Rashad Bateman will stack him vertically multiple times. But I want to keep it with DJ Reader, and I think that's going to be the matchup we can look at.
Wow. Yuri bringing some smoke there, bro. I always say when I agree and disagree. Now, I think Sauce versus Bateman would be a great matchup. I think Bateman, I love him. And I love Sauce too. I think that would be fascinating to watch. I think Bateman will get him a few times, but I think Sauce will hold his own a few times. Bateman on, cornerback 2, DJ Reader. That's where I would like to see the Ravens move Bateman around and take an L over there on Sauce's side. Just let Demarcus Robinson or Duvernay or somebody run them off the play and really focus on Bateman and Andrews over the middle. Andrews on CJ Mosley. Woo! So, Ashley, what do you expect from Bateman this game? Can we move him around? And if he was matched up on Sauce, how do you see that matchup going?
I 100% think we can move him around. And for Sauce Gardner, I think that's what we all want to see. I think that's what Jets fans want to see. I think that's what Ravens fans want to see, especially since a lot of Ravens fans were really hype about Sauce and were hoping that he would fall to us. So I think that it's going to be a real good matchup and it'll be really entertaining to watch.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say hi to our guy before you go, Garnett. Baltimore Raven back in this week saying what's up to Don C. I highlighted the wrong one, Baltimore Raven. Sorry about that. Sup, Flock? Yeah, baby. Nice to see you in here, Baltimore Raven. So, Garnett, man, Bateman versus Sauce and moving Bateman around to get away from Sauce. Give us your two scenarios there, buddy.
Yeah, so I really want to see. I'll say best scenario. I want to see Sauce in the red zone with Bateman because I really think Bateman can give anybody the business, like literally, like this. All right, so here's the thing: playing receiver like Bateman of a route gaze as he is. If you play off man, no disrespect, I'm gonna watch my language. Your butt is cooked. And I'm telling you, I never forget when Marlon, first time the film that came out, like the undisclosed film they had of the All 22, and it was zoomed in on the route. And the moment before even the video just started, just because of how I follow Bateman, when he played off man, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. Because like literally that jab step is gonna get you out of the picture, like you're gone. So that's why I'm very curious on that scenario, just seeing him in the red zone and see how he's going to work it, and also just obviously in the middle of the field, like where there's a lot of I think we're going to do a lot of play action this year. I hope a lot of under center. So those double moves are going to be vicious. So that's why I think where the Sauce don't get your hand, if Sauce doesn't get his hands on you and be able to like just dominate you and get the position off the back. I really think our receivers can dominate those. So it's like either or. Demarcus Robinson, he can run a lot of double moves. Baby can run a lot of double moves. So I think we're good either or, man. Even if we move anybody to the slot, I really don't know if they can. It's crazy. The more I think about it, I see what you did, Jason. I see what you did there. You set me up. Got me think. All right, man. I got faith in my receiver core. Hey, you got me. You got me, dead bank. Okay. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, having Bateman be able to move around, play X, Z, Y, all the other football terms won't bore you with in the slot, outside. Bateman can run any kind of route. So I want to challenge Yuri on this one a little bit and get your feedback before you go to the next matchup. Now, I think Sauce is a beautiful press man corner, and Bateman is lightning fast getting off the line of scrimmage. That is like, I want to see Sauce pressed up against Bateman and just see if Bateman can get away from him to see if Sauce is getting his hands on him. But one thing that I question about Sauce is, can he change directions with Rashad Bateman? Rashad Bateman is just ridiculous changing directions and setting up the route. So how do you feel about Sauce versus press against Bateman? Because I think all of us agree if Bateman's on their number 2 or their slot corner or a safety, it's lights out, Bateman's advantage. But let's just stick on Sauce versus Bateman for a second. How do you see it going if he's pressed up against Rashad?
So I said earlier in the offseason, about 3 or 4 months ago, I said if Rashad Bateman and Sauce Gardner are pressed up vertically, I think that Rashad Bateman will stack him more than once. I have no doubt about that. Jason, you're very high on Sauce Gardner. He was my corner 4, way behind of Stingley, Kyrie Elam, and Andrew Booth Jr. I thought sometimes Sauce got sloppy with his hands at the line of scrimmage. I'll stand on this, and I swear to you, Jason, you're going to see it on the film. Rashad Bateman is going to go inside and then go back out on a fade route, and Sauce Gardner is going to be sloppy with his hands at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to allow Rashad Bateman to get a little bit of separation on the outside. So, in my opinion, I'm fully confident. Bring it on. Bring on the competition. I love it. I like Sauce Gardner's a good prospect. He has all the physicals and all the combine testing or whatever. But I think Rashad Bateman is a double the route runner in terms of like how they line up against each other. And I just think it's going to be popcorn for film. So, if you ask my opinion, I think Rashad Bateman will stack him vertically more than once.
All right. Hey, Yuri, I love it, brother. I love it because you gave reasons why. I love being disagreed with, reasons why. Got to bring up Coach DC in the house. Forgot you guys were streaming. Otherwise, would have had a video premiere during your show. My bad, Jason. Yeah, you know what? Coach DC, I mean, the best film breakdowns out there, man. I did my little Zeitler breakdown here, Coach DC. So maybe you can go back and watch and give me a grade, sir, on my Zeitler film breakdown. But I mean, I will say that I gave myself a B. Ashley and Garnett A pluses on that. Coach DC, do you have if you're still in here, Sauce versus Bateman? Give me a phrase, brother. Type me a couple of sentences. I know you're not shy. If the Ravens don't move Bateman around when he is matched up with Sauce, what happens? Is this a 50-50 matchup? Marshall doesn't like Yuri. Mr. Yuri does not like wasn't a big fan of Sauce Gardner, cornerback 4. And he had Kyer Elam, who can't tackle ahead of him. Man, Yuri, oh boy, you frustrate me. So Yuri, we'll see if we get Coach DC's opinion here. But you have a third matchup, sir. What else should we be concentrating on here in this Jets game?
Yeah, so kind of flipping to the defense a little bit. Well, I have another one as well, but that depends on how long you want to go. But flipping the defense
I got
here.
stamina, kid. I got stamina. I can go all night long. All right.
All right. Yep. They call me the long night ranger. So understand what you're saying there, and we will no pause for that one. And going on. We have Odafe Owe versus George Fant. I think that, like you said earlier, George Fant was kind of questionable in practicing during the week. And then, I think that in order for this team to be successful this year, Odafe Owe has to have at least 10 sacks at minimum. So I'm very curious to see what Odafe Owe does versus George Fant. I think it's going to be a huge matchup. I think that maybe Justin Houston, like they don't play the guys in the same left side, right side, whatever. So it's kind of going to be like a rotation of Odafe Owe, Justin Houston versus George Fant. But that's my next matchup. I think that's going to be very pivotal in winning this football game.
Yeah, Marshall, you set the comments off of Blaze. What is happening here? Thank you, Black Daniels. Like I try to keep my Yolanda says she don't know. ET uncut up in here. Yeah, man. Like I try to keep my jokes subtle. Marshall just came. Man, hey, check this guy out, Garnett, Mr. Goat. Now, Skep, Dafio Way, 10 plus sacks. You on that train, sir? With this 4-3 defense we're going to play, letting our pass rushers eat for once, not having guys like Yannick and Judon talk about how they weren't able to go get after the passer. I want to hear from everybody, including Mr. Skep, on that. Yeah. Think Owe is going to thrive in this new system. Maine, yeah, I'm with you, buddy. I just spent some time earlier in there. We were all talking about that, actually. Not only Owe, but Travis Jones, Matabike, just shooting the gap. Just some great thoughts on here, man. We got a right on, bro, from Black Daniels. Thank you, buddy. Hey, getting back to Yuri's matchup, Noah Fant is a mobile tackle, Ashley. Very good feet. Noah Fant, though, can get bull rushed and bullied around. Do you see the strength in Mr. Owe's game to be able to set him up and to just manhandle Fant when he has a chance?
100%. And it's not against Fant. It's just I have that much confidence in Owe that I don't think it's going to be – I think he has it handled.
G?
Yeah, I'm very confident. This is going to be, I think, where though we're talking about all these 10 plus sacks, I think 3 of them should come in this game, like naturally. We always talk about how the previous pass rush before, like you said earlier, how they didn't have an opportunity to get in rhythm. Well, he's about to have a lot of opportunities to get in rhythm, and it's going to happen fast. And I really do believe he can really, make what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, he can stamp his I don't even know, man. Whatever. I'm losing terminology right now.
Put a stamp in this game and make a name for himself type thing.
Exactly. Like we know what defensive player of the year, man. That's my expectation. Like you gotta, for real. We've been hyping this guy up since day one, and the athletic ability, God gifted freakish athletic ability is off the chart. And I feel like this is the year that he's going to be something special. I hope.
Okay, so just to add to this conversation for you guys who missed it earlier, the Jets starting left tackle, Dwayne Brown, not practicing today. The Jets starting center and their right tackle, George Fant, who we mentioned here, are limited in practice. So I'm going to extend this back out to Yuri and just say they're beat up at tackle. We have Justin Houston on this team as well. I believe that they can move away around to the right side and left side a little bit more because of a four-man front. Houston can move to the right tackle and not be asked to drop in a four-man front. Just let these guys get after them. So I feel like the mix of pass rushers between us having Oweh in Houston and finding a weak spot on this Jets team, that this is going to be a big key to the game for the Ravens. As Garnett said, maybe a 3-sack day for Oweh, or a couple of sacks for Oweh in Houston, or a strip sack or something like that. Yuri, are you feeling the Ravens strong on this defensive line versus their offensive line matchup?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the Ravens can take advantage of how weak this Jets defensive line is. Offensive line is. I think that the Ravens can get after the quarterback early. Another matchup I was going to toss out there, but clearly Dwayne Brown is not practicing, was going to be the Battle of the Fossils matchup between Justin Houston and Dwayne Brown. So no disrespect to Justin Houston. But yeah, I do think that overall this team should blow the Jets out of the water, man. I think that we should dominate the line of scrimmage. I don't think it's close. I think we are leaps and bounds above the Jets in terms of line play. So, yeah, I think that we can get after the quarterback early, get some forced fumbles, some strip sacks, and hopefully Joe Flacco is under duress all day, every day.
Okay, so Yuri, I'm going to go to you before we get you out of here one more time. Things that we talked about earlier, matching the emotion of Week 1 in New York, September 11th. Joe Flacco against his opening, his old team. Opening week is always unpredictable as far as you'll see some crazy upsets before things settle back down. What are some keys to this game? Like you sound awfully confident over there, which I would love to be, but I'm always trepidatious before every game. There's always some trepidation. How confident are you that we can come out, play solid ball, match the emotion, and force our own luck here in this game?
So I did a schedule prediction yesterday with Dan Reese, just to kind of like toss out my channel a little bit. I think we are. I'm 85% confident we win this football game, and we win it by at least 15 points. This game should not be close. This defense should allow no more than 10 to 13 points, and I think this offense should put up at least 30. If you don't do that, I'm disappointed. If this game is anywhere close and we're going to the fourth quarter, there are problems within this team. And I need them solved out very quickly. So whatever that may be, if that's going out needing to require another wide receiver, that's going out needing another edge rusher, whatever it may be, this game should not be close. And I am very confident that we put Joe Flacco in his grave where he needs to belong, along with everybody else in that Jets team, because that team does not even come close to holding a candle to us. And I'm tired of seeing it on the timeline. I'm tired of seeing the Jets are going to somehow compete with us. I'm tired of it. We need to blow these guys out of the water and set the tone for this season and just go on from there. So that's my final thoughts on it. It shouldn't be close.
Okay, Yuri, can you please plug your channel, sir, before I talk behind your back?
Yes, sir. So you can find me at Yuri on YouTube, or you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Yuri. That's 3 underscores. And I will be posting, if you are curious, the Jets offseason moves and their key positional battles. And that should be out before this game Sunday. So appreciate you guys for having me on, and I will see you guys.
I appreciate you. Hey, Yuri, I'm going to say it while you're here, though. Ashley, I'm talking to you now, young lady. This is how Twitter gets off the handles. The attitude that Mr. Yuri had down there. It's like he's talking about if we don't beat them by 40 touchdowns, then we need to start adding wide receivers. Young lady, have you noticed how people set their expectations way too high and then just start blaming everybody when their own expectations were off base to begin with? Ashley, help me out here.
Yeah, I don't want to be too hard on people because I have my overreactions. I can be negative at some times, but This fan base does have an issue with high expectations, and we saw it last year with Bateman, and I just don't want to do that to our young guys going in this season. I mean, Yuri's right. It shouldn't be, or what did you say, Lord Yuri? You're right. It shouldn't be a close game at all. But I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be getting into the 40s, 30s, or 40s because I saw some people predicting down there. I don't know if I would predict the score to be that high, but I wouldn't. I also wouldn't worry too much about week 1.
Garnett, just win the darn games. Forget about the style points. Let's go on the road, get an AFC road win.
Yeah, but you know what? I have to be the guy. I agree with Yuri, man. I can't be hyping up this defense. I'm sorry, man. I just can't be hyping up this defense, talking about they need to be a 2000s type of defense and all this stuff. And if we give up, like I said, 10 to 13 points or over that, like I said, I have a problem. I'm not going to say like we need to go higher. We need to go get Terrell Suggs or nobody for the bats or nothing like that. But it's one of the things where, like I said, this is where it gets a little different. If the players are executing or whatever and they're giving their all, and we're failing due to a schematic error, like coaching wise, hopefully the coaches can reflect on their behalf and get things right. And obviously, just everybody hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? But I'm right with that with Yuri, man. Like I think this should be like a 36-10 or 13 game or somewhere around there. Like we should be coming out hot, man. As much as we've been, like I said, this is supposed to be a revenge tour. This is supposed to be Black Air Force One season. Like we're all this hyping up, talking about how good we're gonna be. This is where let the emotions go because we're gonna hold these guys to the highest standard because we are the Ravens, right?
All right. So, Yuri, thank you so much for coming on, pointing out 3 key matchups, giving us something to talk about, spicing up the show. This is what I'm talking about. Very good job. Very good job. Next time, don't get so graphic though. This family show. Look, Garnett's trying to give you a high five, bro. Can you think? No, you're uncoordinated. There you are. Yeah, that's as good as you can. Yuri, hey, say goodbye to people and thank you so much, man. Go check out Yuri's channel.
Yeah, Jason, Ashley, Garnett, love the conversation here. Appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully, I will be on again soon. But if not, go Ravens. This should be a nuclear warfare week 1. I don't think it should be close. And I will stand on my 10 toes that the Jets shouldn't hold a candle to us. I think that this is by far the easiest game we'll have on the schedule this year.
Wow. Okay. You heard it here. Well, thank you very much, Yuri. And we will see you later. We will check it out. Back to our group of 3 here. Yeah, man, Yuri, I love the energy he brought on, and he brought it. I'm proud of Yuri. Ashley, what did you think about his performance there? He did kind of make me nervous. I think he crossed the line a little bit, and it's hard to cross the line with me.
No. I think he brought in the zest that we needed tonight.
Garnett?
Yeah, man, that's like my little brother, man. He did a phenomenal job, man. He brought a lot of. Here's the thing. I'm good at keeping you on your toes and getting you to open up. He definitely got you out of the shell in somebody else's house. I love it, man. It worked out.
He did. And while I watch and listen to Yuri, sometimes I'm like, hey, man, give us a little bit personality. You know what I mean? Yuri can be monotone at everything. You get him out of his shell. Don't sleep on him, man. He's got some juice to his game, man. I love it. Okay, so 10 sacks for away in a 17-game season is easy money. That's what Skep's saying. Ashley, Garnett, I say the same thing. What you got on Mr. Skeptic right there?
Like I said,
like
man.
it. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Ladies first.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I like it, and I feel like I'm a broken record at this point, but I cannot stress enough that it's a different defense. So I feel like he is going to be used to his best ability.
Right, yeah. Like I'm gonna beat up Seabiscuit one more time. Yeah, like I said, that's 10 sacks should be easy. This should be a walk in the park for this guy. I feel like he's gonna have some of the best one-on-ones all year. To be honest with you, the people that he's gonna go against, him and Houston are literally they're gonna get the reps. I know Houston say, you're going to have to carry me off this field, and then like, once I come back to life, you're going to put me back on or whatever. Like I think these guys are very hungry. They're good technicians, especially Houston. And I think every week you're going to see another level of Oway. I am hoping to see another level of Oway, just the evolution of his game.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to get to some comments and some predictions here. So I hope they're still in here because we took a little time with Yuri. But, great. I like it. You got the Maryland flag, the Ravens nose, and Ravens O's and Natty Bows, as we say here in Dundalk. 41-17, good guys from Tiger Ravens. Don C. Laying it all out on the table. 45-3 Ravens. Man, if that happens, everybody will go from, oh, we don't have no edge players and wide receivers to, oh, we're the Super Bowl favorites. So, yeah, that'll be fun to watch from the fans' perspective. Baltimore Raven, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Seriously, Jets are getting better, but they're not quite ready for the can of whoop-ass that the Ravens are about to open. Did I make you proud there, Sergeant Garnett West?
You goddamn right you did. Look at you, pal.
There we go. Yolanda B. For some reason, I do not think this game will be a blowout. It will be close. 28-14 Raven. See the level-headedness of Yolanda B. I love it.
I'm right there with her.
Are you right there? Okay. This kind of game you're feeling, Ashley? Like something's going to go wrong at some point, right? We don't play a perfect game, right, Ashley?
It's good to get, the jitters, mistakes, things like that out of the way early on. So
she got it right on, bro.
Like a pitcher in the first inning, Ashley. I know you're a big people tell me I look like Matt Olson all the time, by the way. Just to let you know. But
I'm sure I see the resemblance.
Yeah, you're right. I see Ashley and Matt Olson man crush there. But yeah, seriously, pitcher in the first inning. Sometimes it takes you a while to get in the groove. Maybe the Jets hit a big play and the Ravens settle down. Where is Simply here? Just win, baby. Yeah, man, just get this win. Worry about the style points later. We'll have our criticisms and praises no matter what. Jeff J says 31-16. Jeff J, I'm going to say that goes for the Ravens. I see the purple J. Skeptic Goat with another great point. He doesn't predict blowouts in NFL games. Yeah, man, these guys all get paid, and they will find to make the adjustments necessary. And then our guy, check him out, Engraven Vids, one of the godfathers of Twitter. Man, one of my favorite people. He actually did say fabulous for Nat Engraven. We just brought Yuri on for a little while to give his energy and his insight into the matchups. So yes, man. And Jeff J saying, I want to see Calais take one a tight end, 31-16, and don't hurt Joe. Yeah, you know what, Ashley, we're going to need Mr. Joe Flacco maybe to beat the Bengals, to beat the Steelers, and to beat the Browns. The AFC games are very important. We're going to play every team in this AFC East, Ashley. There's going to be an important game on the road here against the Jets because they're going to be playing our opponents, a common opponent.
Yeah, and just as long as it's not week 1, I am all for Joe winning. He can have a great season as soon as we beat him. As soon as he's done getting beat by the Ravens, he can have a comeback season that we've never seen before in NFL players. So just as long as it's not against the Ravens.
Right. And I mean, we're going to, like I said, we might need him if Wilson's not healthy. We might need him to beat the Bengals. These games, the division is going to be close. It's only 17 games, Garnett.
Absolutely, man. I see the Jets really picking up a head of steam if everybody remains healthy on their roster and people come back, whatever. I really do see them being a spoiler alert team. They got the talent, to be honest with you. They got a talent on offense. It's just with the defense, they get the talent there. But like once they finally get their secondary situated and healthy and all that, I really do see them like you can get caught lacking against the Jets. If you think you can go in there thinking like how the Bengals did last year with them. And in those scenarios where, hey, I'm just going to go in there, it's going to be a walk in the park, and then end up being, a shocker. I think they got more weapons, like I said, this year on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Lawson coming back as a pass rusher with them because he missed a last year with an injury. So, man, they got the pieces, man. I don't expect a 4-4 and I guess 13 record or nothing like that. I see them
Right.
being competitive.
What do you think? Like a 7-10 type year for the Jets?
Like about 7-10, but like it all depends on the quarterback, man. The quarterback, he had a crazy weird year where I get it, the jitters in and out. And hopefully the lack of maturity on his behalf as well played a part in what it seems like just following a couple of Jets fans that I know. And hopefully the maturity gets there, man,
So, Ashley, what are you feeling for the Jets as far as their final record? What kind of team do you see them as talent-wise? Garnett and I are kind of in agreement here. I see like a 7-10 team, not like a 4-13 like they had last year. Is that fair to them? Can they make 500? Like, what do you think of the Jets? Forget about this week, but just overall the season. And he mentioned Zach Wilson's lack of experience. Zach tried to get all the experience he could this offseason, but he's going to start the year on the IR or the injured list.
I feel like that's pretty fair. And, that division is not, they're not stacked. I'll say they're competitive with one another, I guess, but I'm guessing that that's going to be the record across the board for all of them. And it could be interchanged between, them and the Patriots, them and the Dolphins. I don't expect a lot from those teams.
Yeah, me neither, but it's kind of hard for me to figure out, Ashley. Like, I'll try to nail you down here. Like, let's just say the Bills are number 1 in the AFC East. How do you rank the Jets, Dolphins, Patriots? If you had, like you're saying, I think they're all close too. Like, who's second, third, and fourth in this division, if you had to say?
I would say probably Dolphins second. And then it's just depending on how injuries and coaching, all of that goes. Jets and Patriots are interchangeable. Either one is going to be that third or fourth place.
I'm kind of feeling her on that, G. You agree, or you think that Dolphins might be like a step above the Jets and Patriots?
Yeah, I think the Dolphins is going to be like they're in the best situation. New coach that a lot of people, including myself, I think it's going to be a hell of a coach. And then they gave a quarterback, a young quarterback, a lot of impacting players. On offense, obviously with Tyreek Hill and Cedric Wilson, so on and so forth with Waddle. And then bringing in, I think a low key finding was bringing in Raheem Mostert, super fast running back, whatever they can catch out the backfield. Yeah, so I think that the Miami is going to be very it's going to be tough. I think they're going to be number 3, but potentially, they could be number 2 in my opinion. So in between I'm never going to count out New England. I don't care who you are. Bill is always going to have his guys ready. But yeah, I think between those, it can go either or there. But I think right now for me, I think Miami is third until I see what Tua brings to the table.
Very fair, very fair. So we're going to wrap up with our final thoughts. Let's see. Okay, Super Gremlin. No, I'm not going to rap, but I will do this simply. I will do this if that helps. Please don't take offense, Kodak. I'm not part of that the sniper gang. So that was just for the show. All right. Don't take offense to that. Lamar sign. I just did the sniper gang, bro. I just did the sniper game. So let's go with our final thoughts. Garnett, I want you to start on here, the rambling man. Give me your final thoughts on this week, the show, the Jets. We've covered a lot here, but it's time to wrap it up, sir.
All right, I'll wrap it up, and I'll go on with my words, man. Go out there, first, how we used to do it the first drive of the Greg is his legendary first 15. I'm hoping we see a little under center, just a little power, Ricard, got the pancake serve ready because CJ Mosley probably going to get the business on the first, breaking news.
Hey, my buddy, Baltimore, Balti Ravens. Sorry, buddy. Bro, so steady, man, like a rock. And it means a lot just to see that support. Oh, my goodness, we got another one up here, too.
I know.
Yolanda had not. Oh, you know me. Oh, she just did it. Okay. I just saw it. I'm sorry. I thought I missed it earlier, guys. Oh, man, 2 rocks of the show. Let me look. See, I can't even click on stuff right. Yeah. It's just the love means a lot, man. Just, it really does because the live show was something I never did. I would have never done it if not for the partnership Garnett and I built last year, and my comfort level, or we could holler at each other and he can get under my skin, and it's always good fun. And then Ashley really rounds us out and makes us the team that we are, man. Like, it's just beautiful, bro. It's just beautiful. I get a little emotional talking about it because like I'm really having fun with this. And I thank all the in the stream for it. Simply would not, yeah. Me and Kodak link up, bro. It will be one for the ages. Yeah. Go ahead, Ashley. Give us our final thoughts. As I got a little scatterbrain there.
I'm just looking forward to the first week of football being back. I think the Ravens have everything in their favor. Not everything, but they have a lot in their favor going into this week. And I think we'll feel pretty good going into the season once we see them play this week.
For me, it's just you guys will get to know me more and more, but I'm always anxious. I was like this before I played, whether I was wrestling in the county tournament or whether it was just some kid that I knew I was going to smash in the first round of a tournament or a dual meet that nobody was at. I always get those jitters, and I get them before the Ravens game, like a old man feeling like I'm still playing. Like, I realize how thin the margin for error is in the NFL, where everybody's getting paid. And, a bad start, a bad interception, bad coaching, bad call, things like that can give a team momentum. And missed tackling, that's like the biggest worry for me this week is we saw it last year rear its ugly head. Just tackle the Jets, stay disciplined, tackle the Jets, and just execute on offense the best you can. I like that Yuri brought up the Quinn Williams issue that we have. I like that Garnett brought up the edge rushers that the Jets have are very good. So the Ravens have their hands full on the offensive line as well. But we are the better football team across the board. You look at Vegas, you look at the analysts. On paper, the Ravens are the better team. They're going to have to play like it, guys, to get this win in New York in a traditionally unpredictable week one against a former quarterback who surely wants to hand it to the Ravens. So we don't know what the Jets have. You know what I mean? It's a brand new year. They don't know what we have, what Mike McDonald. A lot of unknowns here going to be on the coaches. So with that, I just want to say thank you to our football family. Love our football family. Thank you for everybody's comments, and just too many guys and girls to go over to name, but I just really appreciate it, and I know my co-hosts do too. So with that, Ashley, then Garnett, say goodnight to the people, please. Good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Love you guys. Have a good night. Go Ravens.